72, George had always wondered what his future held. He was healthy enough, still walking his dog every morning and tending to his small garden in the afternoons. But he knew time was precious. One afternoon, his granddaughter asked him how long he thought he might live, and he realized he wasn't quite sure. It made him curious, so he started reading about what the scientists said. That's when he discovered there were 7 key signs that could predict longevity after 70, and they were all backed by solid research. The first sign was how well he could walk. George read that walking speed was a strong indicator of longevity in older adults. Those who could walk briskly tended to live longer because it reflected strong muscles, good balance, and overall health. George timed himself on his usual morning walk. He wasn't racing anyone, but he was steady and felt good. That gave him a small boost of confidence. The second sign was grip strength. Researchers found that older adults with a strong grip often had better heart health and lower risks of chronic illness. George decided to test his grip by squeezing a tennis ball. His hand felt firm and capable, though he resolved to keep doing hand exercises to maintain it. The third sign involved mental sharpness. George had always been an avid reader and loved doing crossword puzzles. Studies showed that older adults who maintained good cognitive function, like memory, problem solving, and attention, tended to live longer. Keeping the brain engaged was as crucial as keeping the body fit. The fourth sign was social connection. George realized that those with strong social ties, friends, family, and community involvement, often lived longer and reported better well-being. George made a note to keep calling his friends and visiting his neighbors, no matter how busy life got. Loneliness could creep in at this age, but reaching out kept it at bay. The fifth sign surprised him: maintaining a healthy weight. It wasn't just about being thin, but about balance. Those with a healthy weight were less likely to develop conditions like diabetes or heart disease. George had always been a moderate eater and prided himself on his simple, nutritious meals. He reminded himself to keep up the good habits, even on days when he was tempted by a second slice of cake. The sixth sign was how often he got up and moved around. Sedentary lifestyles in older adults were linked to a shorter lifespan, even in those who exercised regularly. George realized that his morning walk was great, but he needed to break up long stretches of sitting, whether reading or watching TV. He made a plan to stand up and stretch every hour. The seventh and final sign was his outlook on life. Studies consistently found that a positive attitude and resilience were strong predictors of a longer life. George had faced his share of challenges: losing his wife, health scares, financial worries. But he'd always found a way to keep moving forward. Gratitude, humor, and hope had carried him through, and he resolved to nurture that optimism. As George sat on his porch, watching the sunset, he felt a quiet assurance. He knew that nothing was guaranteed, but by focusing on these 7 signs: walking, grip strength, mental sharpness, social ties, healthy weight, movement, and optimism, he was giving himself the best chance at a long, fulfilling life. And for him, that was more than enough.